Hello, 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 and welcome back to Dr. English. I am your host, Jack, and I am so excited to be here for our third episode.
And I'm Lisa. Hi, everyone. Honestly, it's great to be back. I can't believe we are already on episode 3, Jack. It feels like we just started yesterday.
I know, right? Time flies. So, Lisa, how has your week been? Did you get up to anything interesting?
Um, Actually, my week was pretty standard. Just working, walking the dog, and doing a lot of errands, which I guess is actually a perfect transition into our topic for today.
Oh, I love a good transition. What are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about grocery shopping.
Ah, yes, the grocery store, the supermarket, the place where all of my money seems to disappear.
Exactly. It is something we all have to do probably once a week, right? But for English learners, the grocery store it can be a little bit intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much specific vocabulary, and if you're living in an English-speaking country, the customs might be different too.
Totally. I mean, even just the name of the place can be confusing. We say grocery store mostly in the US, right?
Right.
And in the UK, they usually say supermarket or just the shops.
Right. And today we are going to break it all down. We'll talk about the equipment you use, the different sections of the store, and we will definitely cover some useful phrasal verbs and idioms related to shopping.
Sounds like a plan. So let's imagine we just walked through the automatic doors. What is the very first thing we need to do, Lisa?
Well, unless you're only buying one or two things, you need something to carry your items in, so you're going to grab a shopping cart or a basket.
Right. And here's our first big vocabulary distinction. In the US, we almost always say cart or shopping cart. But do you know what they call it in Britain?
I do. They call it a trolley, which I don't know why, but I think that sounds so much cuter. Grab a trolley.
It does sound delightful. But yes, for our listeners, if you're in New York, ask for a cart. If you're in London, ask for a trolley. Now, if you only need a few things, you grab a handbasket.
Exactly. Okay, so we have our cart. We're rolling into the store. Usually, the first section you see, at least in most stores I've been to, is the produce section.
Oh, the produce section. This is a tricky word, actually, because of the pronunciation.
Yes, let's pause on that for a second. So the verb is to produce, right? Like the factory produces cars. The stress is on the second syllable.
Right. But when we're talking about fruits and vegetables, the stress moves to the front. It becomes a noun. Produce.
Exactly. So you go to the produce aisle to buy your apples, bananas, lettuce, all that fresh stuff. Jack, are you good at picking out produce? Like, do you know how to tell if an avocado is ripe?
Oh man, that is the hardest question. Honestly, no. I usually just squeeze them a little bit. If it's rock hard, I leave it. If it's squishy, maybe it's okay. I feel like it's a gamble every time.
It is a gamble. Ripe is a good word there, by the way. R-I-P-E. It means the fruit is ready to eat. If it's not ready, it's unripe or just hard. And if it's too old, well, then it's rotten.
Let's hope we don't buy any rotten fruit. Now, speaking of the produce section, there's another thing you might have to do there. Sometimes you have to weigh your items, right?
Yes, in some stores you take the bag of apples to the cashier and they weigh it, but in others you have to put it on the scale yourself, print out a sticker, and stick it on the bag.
I always forget to do that. I get all the way to the checkout and the cashier looks at me like I made a huge mistake.
That is the worst. Okay, so leaving the produce section, we usually walk down the aisles. Now, this is a word that looks very strange when you write it down.
Oh, absolutely. It is spelled A-I-S-L-E. It looks like a aisle, but the S is totally silent. It's just aisle, like I will. An aisle is just a walkway between the shelves.
Right, you have the cereal aisle, the pasta aisle, the frozen food aisle. Jack, do you make a list before you go shopping, or do you just walk up and down the aisles and grab whatever looks good?
You know, I try to be disciplined. I try to make a shopping list because if I don't, I end up buying a bunch of junk food that I don't need.
Me too. There is actually a phrase for that. It is called impulse buying.
Impulse buying. That is a great term. An impulse is like a sudden desire to do something, right?
Hmm.
So, an impulse buy is when you see a bag of chips or some chocolate and you didn't plan to buy it, but you just grab it and throw it in the cart.
Exactly. Supermarkets are actually designed to make you impulse buy. That is why they put all the candy bars and magazines right next to the registers. They know you are standing there waiting and you might get hungry.
It works on me every time. Okay, so we're moving through the store. We have our produce. We picked up some milk from the dairy section, maybe some bread from the bakery. What about meat?
The deli or the meat department. If you go to the deli counter, that's usually where you get sliced meats like turkey or ham for sandwiches or fancy cheeses. You have to order that from a person.
Right, and that can be scary for language learners because you have to speak spontaneously. A common phrase there would be, "Can I get half a pound of turkey, please?"
Or, I'll have a quarter pound of the cheddar cheese. And then they usually ask you, do you want that sliced thin or thick?
And I always say thin, always thin.
Good choice. Okay, let's talk about some verbs we use while shopping. We already said weigh. What about when you need to get a lot of something?
Oh, you mean to stock up?
Yes, to stock up. Can you explain that one?
Sure. So to stock up means to buy a large quantity of something so you have enough for a long time. For example, if toilet paper's on sale, I might stock up on toilet paper.
That is a very practical example. And the opposite of having a stock of something is when you have none left.
Right, that's to run out. Oh no, we ran out of milk. Or I'm running out of coffee. I need to go to the store.
I feel like I'm always running out of coffee. It's a crisis.
It really is. Another good one is pickup. Like, can you pick up some eggs on your way home? It just means to buy or collect something quickly.
Yes, we use that all the time. I need to pick up dinner, I need to pick up a few things. It sounds much more casual than I need to purchase some items.
Definitely. We want to sound natural here. Okay, Lisa, we have filled our cart, we have stocked up on coffee, we avoided too many impulse buys, now we have to pay.
The most painful part. We head to the checkout or the register.
There are two main ways to do this now. You can go to a regular cashier where a person scans your items, or you can use the self-checkout.
I have a love-hate relationship with self-checkout.
Why's that?
Well, I like it because I don't have to talk to anyone if I'm tired, but the machine always yells at me. Unexpected item in the bagging area. Please wait for assistance. It drives me crazy.
I know exactly what you mean. The flashing red light comes on and you just stand there feeling guilty. But if you go to a real cashier, there's usually a little bit of small talk involved, especially in the US.
That is true. In some countries, the cashier works very fast and doesn't say much. But here, they often say, "Hi, how are you doing today?" Or, "Did you find everything okay?"
And for our listeners, you don't need to tell them your whole life story. Just a simple, "I'm good, thanks, how are you?" It's perfect.
Exactly. Keep it brief. Then comes the payment. They will ring up your items. To ring up is the phrasal verb for scanning the items and calculating the price.
And then they might ask the famous question. Well, it used to be famous. Paper or plastic?
Meaning, do you want paper bags or plastic bags? But actually, Jack, nowadays a lot of places charge you for bags, or they don't have them at all.
That's true. So now you really should bring your own reusable bags. If you forget them, you have to buy them there.
I have a trunk full of reusable bags in my car, and I still forget to bring them inside the store every single time.
It's a classic struggle. Okay, after you pay, you get your receipts. That is a tricky spelling word too. RECEIPT. But the P is silent.
Just receipt. Don't say the P. The receipt is the little paper record of what you bought. You usually check it to make sure they didn't overcharge you.
Or to see how much money you saved if you use coupons.
Oh, coupons. I love a good coupon. Or if there was a sale. Do you know the acronym BOGO? BOGO?
Yes, buy one, get one. Usually it's buy one, get one free. Or sometimes buy one, get one 50% off.
If I see a BOGO sticker, I am definitely stocking up.
Same here. Okay, Lisa, I think this would be a great time to do a little role play. Let's pretend we are in the store. Maybe I am looking for something and I can't find it.
Okay, perfect. I will be a store employee. You can be the confused shopper.
I am very good at being confused. Okay, here we go. Excuse me? Hi.
Hi there. Can I help you find something?
Yeah, actually. I've been looking all over. Do you guys carry, almond milk?
We do. It's not in the dairy aisle with the regular milk, though. It's actually in the natural foods section, aisle 4, top shelf.
Ah, aisle 4. Okay. And sorry, one more thing. Is the bakery still open? I wanted to pick up a birthday cake.
Oh, I'm sorry. The bakery counter actually closed at 7 p.m., but there are some pre-packaged cakes in the cooler right over there next to the deli.
Okay, that works. Thanks so much for your help.
No problem. Have a good one.
Have a good one. That is such a classic American goodbye.
It really is. It just means have a good day or have a good night. It works for everything.
So, in that dialogue, I asked, do you guys carry almond milk? When we ask if a store has an item, we often use the verb carry. Do you carry this brand?
Yes, or you could just say, do you have? But carry sounds very native. And notice Jack used pick up again for the cake.
It's super useful. Now, Lisa, before we wrap up, are there any other weird things about grocery shopping that might surprise our listeners?
Maybe the concept of bulk shopping, like Costco or Sam's Club?
Oh, yeah, that is very American. Buying a jar of mayonnaise that is the size of your head.
Buying in bulk means buying a massive quantity at once to save money, but you need a membership for those stores. For a regular trip, just stick to the local supermarket.
And maybe don't go shopping when you're hungry.
That is the #1 rule of life. Never grocery shop on an empty stomach. You will come home with 5 bags of cookies and no actual dinner.
Speaking from experience.
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, I think that brings us to the end of our shopping trip. We have filled the cart, paid the cashier, and hopefully remembered our bags.
I hope this helps you guys next time you have to go buy food in English. It doesn't have to be scary. Just remember your list.
Exactly. So for next week, I think we are going to switch gears a little bit. We've had a lot of practical topics. Next week, let's talk about something a bit more fun.
Oh, what do you have in mind?
I was thinking movies and TV shows, how to talk about entertainment.
I love it. I watch way too much TV, so I am ready for that.
Perfect. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to episode 3 of Dr. English.
If you want to see the vocabulary list from today's episode or read the transcript, make sure to check the description box below.
And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. Until then, keep practicing.
Bye, everyone. Happy shopping.